Chapter 22 Clauses. Look at this group of words. In the market of great value. We know that such a group of words that make sense but not complete sense is called a phrase. Now, a phrase does not contain a finite verb. Take a look at this picture. He made a statue in marble. The statue of the dancing girl is famous. Now the words in italics are all phrases. Now look at these sentences. Take a look at the picture which is on the wall. The statue that he made was in marble. Now the words in italics contain a subject and a finite verb, the main element in a predicate, and form a part of a sentence. Such a group of words is a clause. Now what is a clause? The word which contain a subject and a finite verb and form a part of a sentence. These group of words is called as a clause. Now remember, a finite verb is one that is controlled by a subject. For example, I read books. She reads books. They read books. Now, in each sentence, the verb changes according to the subject. We say that the verb is limited by person and number. It is therefore a finite verb. Now, non-finite verb talks of the action and they don't change according to the subject. Non-finite verb forms are the participle, gerund and the infinitives. For example, I like to read books. Suma likes to read books. Clauses are of two kinds. Main clause and subordinate or dependent clause. Now what is a main clause? We know that a sentence is made up of a subject and a predicate. We have also learned that a clause must contain a subject and a predicate. A clause that has a subject and a predicate and makes complete sense is called as a main clause or an independent clause. Every simple sentence is also an independent clause. This is a book. This is the subject. Is my book is the predicate. Now what are subordinate or dependent clause? A clause that is a part of a sentence but cannot stand on its own is called a subordinate clause or a dependent clause. Now look at these sentences. Take a look at the picture which is on the wall. There are two clauses in the sentence. Take a look at the picture is the main clause, which is on the wall is a subordinate clause. The statue that he has made was in marble. The statue was in marble. Main clause that he made is a subordinate clause. Now, there are different kinds of subordinate clauses. Basically three. Noun clause, adjective clause and adverb clauses. Now, a clause can do the work of a noun and of an adverb and also of an adjective. A clause that does the work of a noun is called as a noun clause. Like it answers the question what after the verb. For example, I fear that I will fail. You have to ask what you fear that he will fail. So that is the noun clause. Now, a clause that does the work of an adjective is called as an adjective clause. Now, doing the work of an adjective, that is, it is describing something. So, the boy who is wearing a red shirt is my cousin. What is he doing, the boy? He is wearing a red shirt. Now, a clause that does the work of an adverb is called as an adverb clause. Now, the giving the reason for carrying an umbrella, so doing the work of an adverb. Carry an umbrella because it might rain. So, giving the reason. So, here carry an umbrella was a giving a reason because it might rain is your adverb clause. Now, in detail, what is a noun clause? A noun clause answers the question what before or after the verb in the main clause. Thus, it does the work of a noun. A main clause usually begins with the conjunction that, if, whether, what, etc. or with the interrogative why, what, where, when or how. Now, a noun clause can be the object of a verb, the subject of a sentence, the object of a preposition. So, how to identify the object of a verb? He knows how his business will prosper. He knows what? How his business will prosper. Nobody could understand what made him cry. Can you see where the car is? So these are the questions where the object of a verb is the noun clause. The subject of a sentence. For example, that he got a medal surprises me. What surprises me? That he got a medal. How the thief got in is a mystery. What is a mystery? How the thief got in. Now, the object of preposition. It all depends on what the council decides. On what the council decides. So, these are the way how the noun clause works. Next is the adjective clauses. An adjective clause gives more information about a noun in the main clause. They are also called as a relative clause. The man who is standing at the gate is a writer. Now, in this example, the subordinate clause who is standing at the gate answers the question which man. So, adjective clause usually begins with the word which, that, who, whom or whose. Adjective clause are sometimes also introduced by where and when. Now, who, whom and whose are used for people. Which is used for non-living things and animals. That is used with both people and things. Now, what is an adverb clause? An adverb clause is the work of an adverb, that is, it modifies a verb, an adjective or an adverb. He has been unhappy since he failed the test. Ashoka road starts where Akbar road ends. Now, there are several kinds of adverb clauses. Adverb clauses of time are introduced by the words when, while, before, after, since, as soon as, whenever, till, as long as, etc. An adverb clause of place are introduced by where and wherever. Adverb clause of purpose are introduced by that, so that, lest, in order that. Adverb clause of reason gives the reason why and is introduced by because, as, since, now, that, etc. Adverb clause of condition are introduced by if, unless, provide, in, case and whether. An adverb clause of manner tells us how or in which manner and are introduced by as if, as though, as. So this was the chapter of clauses. We saw that clauses, there are two types. One is the main clause, that is an independent clause, and the other one is the subordinate clause or the dependent clause. We saw the difference between both of them, how to identify a main clause and a subordinate clause. Later we saw that there are three types of clauses. One is the noun clause, adjective clause and an adverb clause. A noun clause is a function of a noun, that is, you can ask question what and you get the answer. An adjective clause gives more information about the subject, and an adverb clause, it modifies the verb and add adjective or an adverb. So this was the chapter clauses all about. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.